Instead you can bury the workman, but the work will go on. You can silence the voices, but you can't stop the song.
Welcome to Wheeling the Pathways of Life Unplugged with your host, Brain Fitzpatrick. Wheeling the Pathways of Life Unplugged is a snapshot of the day-to-day experiences of disabled individuals as they navigate the world around us. We wish to shed light and open your eyes on a new perspective of people with disabilities. And by going unplugged, we can discuss viewpoints we hope will challenge our viewers' points of view. Most of us have disabilities we must live with, but what defines us is the way we deal with them. And now, here's your host, Brain Fitzpatrick.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Brain Fitzpatrick, bringing you an episode of Wheeling the Pathways of Life Unplugged. Today, it's just gonna be you and me and the camera in the studio, but it's gonna be you and me just having a one-on-one conversation today about some things that one has come up during the week, and then I'm gonna add in some PCA kind of do's and don'ts and what I run into every time I'm turning around with the PCAs. In general, these are problems that happen all the time with PCAs in general and stuff, but and what I wanted to also touch base on too is the fact that the emotional impact on families when you got someone with a disability, especially when you first start out with somebody with a disability. It's you play the person with the disability tends to blame the parents or the caregivers for the fact that they got a disability, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that and how I got through that, and putting the blame or realizing that there is no blame to the issue. It just happens, and things happen for a reason. We don't always know what the reason is, but it just happens. Now I know why it happened, but when I was a young kid, I didn't know why, and now I do. And like I always say, I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for the fact that if it wasn't for the fact that I'm in a wheelchair. I wouldn't be where I am today because of it. But it was a long, emotional road for me to get there, for not only me, but my family as well. and watching what my family had to go through was tough, and watching what they sacrificed and what they did for me was utterly amazing when you think about it. Most cases, back in the day when I was born, you didn't see very many people take the kids home with them. There was, doctors didn't know what to do. They said, they came to my mother at 6 months and said, okay, what institution do you want him in? And it's like, no, we're taking him home. That was the most unselfish act they could have done, and I couldn't be more grateful for what they did and what God has given me for parents and what God has taught me along the way. So, one of the things he taught me is you can still have, there's a sibling, there's always sibling rivalry, sibling fights between the two kids when they're growing up, and my sister was able to do everything, go out and play with kids, go out and do this. I couldn't. I had to go shopping with my parents. I've had to go into stores and into departments that I probably wouldn't normally go into if I was able not to. Because, if I didn't go, they couldn't go. Because at the time, they didn't have anybody to watch me. And when they did, it was only for an hour at a time. Due to me getting physical therapy from the VNA. So everything had to be done within an hour, and then the VNA left, so somebody had to be at the house with me. At the age of 14, my sister was watching me at the house. Besides going to school and, eventually working at Pampered Pets at the time. If anybody can remember Pampered Pets. So it was really tough. And putting the blame on them because of a disability is not only fair, it's a disability. The word disability in the public arena doesn't exist anymore. Like the Department of Mental Retardation doesn't exist anymore. It's the Department of it's DDS, Department of Developmental Services is what DDS is. And the reason why they changed it is it was determined by the state and references by the state that and references by other people that the fact that you use the word Department of Mental Retardation, that had retardation in the title, so everybody you talked to said, "Oh, this is my retarded family member. This is my retarded daughter." You know, it's a bad label to have if you're talking somebody in the existing. It's a bad decision to label somebody that way because you can have a disability and have a mental challenge, but that does not mean you're mentally retarded. I don't necessarily care what the state says about whether or not you are what the labels are under the state. It's what you can do and what you can't do physically and mentally. Like me, I can't do a lot physically, but I can do a lot more mentally than I can do physically, and I do it quite well. And I'm going to be quite honest with you. There was never, besides some individual classes that I've had, people teach me things, I have never had formal college classes at all. There is no reason. College is just, yes, you got the socialization, yes, you've got the education part of it, but the whole education system teaches if you don't have the piece of paper, you can't do anything, and that's the way society is going today. You can't do anything unless you got the piece of paper. Well, I am here to tell you that that's not necessarily true. Because, yes, in California, Hollywood, yes, they expect to have a little more knowledge and a little more acting experience doing what I'm doing right now. But I can tell you, we can do the same, we can do kind of the same thing they're doing down there. I mean, it's at a much bigger scale, but I'll tell you something. Speaking from a perspective of somebody with a disability, at my age, and even younger, I would have never thought I'd be where I am today. If it wasn't for God and it wasn't for the place where I am right now, putting on my own TV show and talking to you and putting me in the position I'm in, being in the chair is probably one of the greatest things that could happen to me. Now, when we come back, I will tell you why I said what I said. We will be right back to Wheeling the Pathway to Life Unplugged. We will be right back in a moment, folks.
You brought me this far, so why would I question you now? You have provided, so why would I start to doubt? I've never been stranded, abandoned, or left here to fight alone. So I'm giving you control. I lift my life up. Give it all in surrender. I lift my heart up. You can have it forever. All my dreams, all my plans, Lord, I leave it in your hands. I lift my life up. Have your way in me. Have your way in me. If peace is a river, then let it sweep over me. If I'm under fire, I know it's refining me. When I hear you calling out, I'll follow now, wherever the road may go, because I know you're leading me home. I lift my life up. I give it all in surrender. I lift my heart up. You can have it forever. All my dreams, all my plans, Lord, I leave it in your hands. I lift my life up. Have your way in me. Have your way in me. Take my life and let it be all for you. Take my life and let it be all for you. I lift my life up. I give it all in surrender. I lift my heart up. take my life. I live my life up. Give it all in surrender. I lift my heart up. You can have it forever. All my dreams, all my plans, Lord, I leave it in your hands. I live my life up. Oh, have your way in me. Have your way in me. Just have your way in me. Have your way in me. Just take my life and let it be all for you.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Brain Fitzpatrick coming to you live from the facilities of Pittsburgh Community Television with an episode of Wheeling the Pathway to Life Unplugged. Thank you, Nick, for providing us with that wonderful rendition of that song. That's from New Life Community Fellowship on Harvard Avenue in Pittsfield, Mass. Which you can see the services on Sunday afternoon at 3:30 to 5 on Pittsfield Community Television, produced in cooperation with the New Life Community Fellowship and myself, Brian Fitzpatrick. Any suggestions or comments about that show or this show, you can contact me at Wheeling the Pathway to Life at gmail.com. That's Wheeling the Pathway to Life at gmail.com. And back to regular scheduled programming right now. Where I was is why I say being in the chair is the greatest thing that that could have happened to me, was the fact that this is all I know. I was never able to walk, never able to, I take that back. I was never able to walk unassisted, meaning somebody had to stand behind me and kind of shuffle my legs for me. I was able to stand with the assistance of leg braces and somebody actually walking behind me, either pushing my feet forward, or putting my foot on top of theirs and having them take the steps and me. It's kind of like what little babies do when they're first trying to walk. The parents stand behind them, hold their hands, and just kind of walk with them to get them trained on how to walk. But because though I don't know what it's like, so I don't know what I'm missing. Now, I know what I'm missing because I can see it, but I don't know what I'm missing physically because I don't know what it feels like to walk. Okay? I don't know what it feels like to truly walk by myself. So, why would you worry about something you never experienced? Now, if you had a situation where you were able to walk and you lost it, that would be more devastating than if you had it and then you lost it. Like, it's, but at the same time, I was never sheltered from experiencing life in other ways. Now, this is gonna sound weird to many people, and this is not a, before I say it, this is not a cruel thing. Because I didn't fall out of a tree or anything when I was a kid or get hit in the head with a baseball, if a person was transferring me and I fell, and I did fall a couple times when I was young, even when I was an adult, and everybody was devastated about dropping me and stuff. You know what my father said? He said, that's part of normal life. If you fall, you just get back up and keep going. Dad would say, he's not gonna fall out of a tree. He's not gonna fall out of he's not gonna get hit in the head with a baseball bat because he's out there playing baseball with the kids. So he's not gonna get a concussion because he gets hit in the head with baseball. So if he falls, yes, we don't want to intentionally drop me on the floor. We don't want to intentionally hurt me. But if it happens, it's just part of life. And that's just a normal, everyday kind of thing. Now, one story that came up this week is I have a dirt driveway. And because of all the rain that happened, I was out in the driveway and I was coming up the driveway and I was doing fine. In the dirt driveway, I was scaring the caregiver that was with me, but I was fine. I was not doing bad at all. And then it got to the point where I was getting close to the deck and the grass was soft. And one side of my chair sunk right down into the ground. And the PCA hadn't got there yet. And she was due at 10. And it was a little before 10. It was like quarter of. And so I just waited. And she's like, what do you want me to do? And I said, you might have to call the fire department. Okay? And then she said, well, let me try to help you. And I let her do it. And I got out. But in reflection of that, I should tell everybody, if you do it under the PCA program, if you help somebody like that in a situation like the PCA program, you are on your own as far as workman's comp if you get hurt doing that. Reason being is you're not directly touching me if you do that. You are dealing with a wheelchair that I am attached to, but you're not touching me, so therefore you are not doing hands-on physical care with the client, so therefore you will not be covered if you do. You can volunteer to do it. Just know that if you do it and you get hurt, it's not going to be covered under workman's comp. Now, do I think that's right? No. But can I do it anyway? I'm trying, but I've been trying for years to do certain things. One of the other things I've been trying to do for years, that the last couple years at least, is to go to church. I said this before, but I don't remind people. To go to church, for me, is at least $200 each way for the state to be paying for me to go to church. Now, due to nobody wanting to work on Sundays, except for this company out of Springfield, where I live is only 13 miles. It's only like 10, 15 minutes on the road. And it's actually about 5 or 10 miles down the road or something like that. And they're pulling somebody out of Springfield to come up to Pittsfield to take me 5 or 10 minutes down the road. Now, does that make any sense? The state's paying $200 and something when they have providers up here because nobody wants to work on Sundays. Now, I'm lucky that the state is willing to pay for it, but if the state ever decides not to pay for it, I can't go to church. Unless I won buy a van or get together with another consumer who has a van and use theirs. Now, when somebody says, we want you to be as independent as you can, how? Because I can't get to where I want to be. There's no transportation. So, I'm as independent as my conditions and the state's condition will allow me to be. for many years, for a couple of years during the pandemic, I had to do the show from home because of the pandemic and the fact that transportation wasn't available and the fact that COVID was going on. But COVID has made the society, and especially in the PCA world, I'm gonna say it, not only lazy, but very inconsiderate as far as what they will do and what they won't do. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm not suggesting that everybody do everything for free. But there's a lot of the disabled population, and there's a lot of the disabled population, and there's a lot of the people who don't have a lot of family members. If you're not in it for helping people, don't get in a job. Because it's not about the paycheck. It's not about what they can do for you. It's what you can do for them. And the ultimate is what God is having you do to glorify Him, if you believe the same way I do. Which I don't understand why you wouldn't, but that brings up another point, and I'm not here to judge you or tell you, can't do what you want to do, but that's my opinion, and, it doesn't reflect the opinion of the station, or it doesn't reflect the opinions of any of my caregivers, any of my staff, or any of my any of the people listening, or any of that. That was just me saying, I don't understand why you wouldn't, if you, I don't understand why you would work for people if you didn't care for people either. I mean, if you just want the paycheck, there's many other jobs you can do other than personal care. Okay? Get in it because you want to get into it. Don't get into it because you want the paycheck, because the money is not there. And what I want to say to you right now is the fact that if I didn't have the staff I do and the caring people that I do, then I wouldn't be able to do this show or what I do on a regular basis. If I didn't have a big mouth that works, I wouldn't be where I am today. I'm sure my control room is laughing right now when I said I got a big mouth, because there are a couple people that can attest that I do have a big mouth. And sometimes I gotta use it. But I just think that that is one of the strongest ways that I can communicate and get across to you. If you've got something to say, it doesn't matter what you say, it's how you say it. As long as it's not derogatory or demeaning in any way, I don't mind having any conversation with anybody. Now, when I'm gonna just do this now, and then I'm gonna go to a break, and then I'm gonna do one thing, and then go to a quick break, and come back and wrap up the show. You can get on me at Wheeling the Pathway to Life at Wheeling the Pathway to Life at gmail.com, and you can also leave any comments or anything. And we are also on Facebook and YouTube with the show, so anybody can just friend me at Brain Fitzpatrick and leave me a comment and leave me a suggestion there. And we will be right back in a couple of seconds, and I will finish saying what I gotta say, and then we will close the show. Thank you for watching, and we will be right back, folks.
I have a maker. He formed my heart before even time began. My life was in his hand. He knows my name. He knows my every thought. He sees each tear that falls and hears me when I call. I have a Father, and he calls me his own, and he'll never leave me, no matter where I go. He knows my name. He knows my every thought. And he sees each tear that falls and hears me when I call. He knows my name.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Brian Fitzpatrick, and you've been watching Wheeling the Pathway to Life Unplugged with your host, Brian Fitzpatrick. And we're not done yet, but I'm just coming back for a quick couple minutes to tell you some things, and then we will wrap up the show. Now, I want you guys to understand something, okay? And this is one of the greatest things that I can tell people. And I'm not the greatest person to give speeches, but when people are talking to you and people are making comments about you and about your disability, or about the way you look, or about the way you present yourself, it doesn't matter. I'll tell you why. The only person it matters to is Jesus Christ. Because that's the only person at the end of the day you're going to have the answer to. You're not going to answer to anybody else but Jesus Christ. So the opinions of other people, although they're nice and they matter now, but at the end of the day, do they really matter? And are you doing what God wants you to do in life? Are you doing it because other human beings are telling you what to do? So just keep that in mind. With a disability, it's the same thing. If you're not caring for the person because you genuinely care about them, you genuinely want to help people, get out of the business because you're not helping them. As a matter of fact, you're hurting them if you try to get in the way of what God wants you to do. You getting in the way of what God wants for that person and what that person wants for themselves. So if it's not a pure heart, I'd recommend you get out of the field and go somewhere else. Even go to McDonald's and get a job there. Just making food for people. Because there you don't have to care. But when you're getting into human services, caring is one of the things you got to do. Again, this has been Brian Fitzpatrick with Wheeling the Pathway to Life, and you can get a hold of me at wheeling the pathways at gmail.com, and leave me a message and let me know in the comments. And I know I was strong today, but it needed to be said. And I think that as we get going in the new studio, you're going to see more and more people and more supports that I have in not only my spiritual life, but in my physical life as well. And I really do thank each and every one of them. And I thank God for giving me the opportunity to do this. and be a light for him. And one of the things that I have coming up soon is, and I'm letting my control room know, this is one thing we gotta get ready for. I think close to the Christmas season, I'm gonna bring in Nick Winter, the one that brought in, is doing all the music for me when we do the PSAs, and he's gonna put on kind of a mini concert for the Christmas season live here in the studio, and I'm gonna interview him on some things, and we'll see how that pans out. There's gonna be more to come as time goes on, and a little programming note. Remember, folks, on the 17th of this month, we will be live at the third Thursday at the Common. I don't know what time yet, but I will find out soon. And we will let people know at that time. We will let people know as time goes on. But I just want to remind people that's coming up. And if you're interested in seeing a production, go on, come out and see me and say hi before or after the show. And I'll sit and talk to you for a minute or two. This is one of the greatest, not only accomplishments that I've done, but one of my greatest callings is to get out there and talk to people, get out there and even get out there and tell people, even though you got a disability, disability is just skin deep, and disabilities are what you make of them. If you can go from two ways. You can go from two ways. You can go from, oh, woe is me, or, oh, I got a disability, but okay, what's next? How can I get around the disability? How can I take advantage of the good parts of the disability and tell people about it, and tell people how other people can get through life with a disability. And that's what I'm trying to do. So, again, you can get a hold of me at Wheeling the Pathway to Life. That's Wheeling the Pathway to Life at gmail.com. And you can leave me a comment or leave me a comment, or like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Wheeling the Pathways, on YouTube, and we can communicate that way, or you can go to my Facebook, Brain Fitzpatrick, and just type in my name, and my illustrious muggle illustrious mug will come up on the screen, and you will be able to friend me, and we can actually have a conversation. Because I want you guys to feel as though you can be a part of my journey and my quest to keep wheeling through life. Like I said, this is one of the greatest things I can do in life, is use my voice for a positive reason. God basically didn't give me the ability to walk, didn't give me the ability to use my arms as well as everybody else, but he did give me the ability to use my mouth. And my God, I'm gonna use it until the day I can't use it no more. But I'm gonna use it in working for him and doing his work the best way I can and reach as many people as I can and help them along in life as long as they can accept the help and appreciate the help. I'm here. So, again, if anybody has any information or need any help, please contact me at Wheeling the Pathway to Life. That's wheelingthepathwaytolife@gmail.com. You can get a hold of me and we can talk, and we can even have a conversation about what you might want to talk about if you come on the show. Again, this has been Brain Fitzpatrick, bringing you an episode of Wheeling the Pathway to Life. Have a good afternoon, folks.
You can bury the workman, but the work will go on. You can silence the voices, but you can't stop the song. 'Cause when the spirits move, and his will be done. You can bury the workman, but the work will go on.